Hello, hello. So today we're just looking at an Xbox One X that somebody brought in. They said that they had already looked at their HDMI and it looked okay, and that they might want us to do the retimer chip. I said, hey, I'm gonna look at your HDMI first because it looks fine internally. But what did they do to the HDMI itself? So let's take a look in here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the HDMI first. Let's take a look at that. Let's look at a scope view here. I'm gonna cover up some of this. So this is the HDMI. Looks perfectly fine. Looks good. First thing I noticed when I got in here, let me see, I could wiggle the metal shield. And then I looked down at the arms here, the anchor points, and the solder was a little sunken in, more than usual. And if somebody's worked on it, usually they build that up so that it's more supportive. So then I noticed, I don't want to show y'all everything here because I want to surprise you guys with this. Let's slide this up. Now, you can see how two of those pins are pushed back, and you can also see that there's a pad ripped off there. You can also see damage to this area, and then this pin is a little loose, but the other one came completely off because it broke. So as we did or applied heat to this, and then lifted off just like normal, we did downgrade the alloy first before pulling it up. We noticed a problem immediately. Yeah. So, as soon as it started to come off, I looked at the HDMI and I saw this, obviously, but I looked at the HDMI, look at that. So someone was really rough with this guy. So every single one of those pads, 13 out of 19, tore completely clear off the board. This is still fixable, but this is a nightmare. But I love nightmares. So what we'll have to do is build new traces here on the board, which if you watch any of the previous videos, we can do that. Let me see, let me zoom in here real quick. So I'll show you how we do that. A little light on this. There we go. If you can see that right there, it's a good spot. Focus in a little bit. Alright, so what we would do, like this right here, you can see the trace. Well, crumbling away. These really got their butts whooped. Alright, so what we do here is right in this area, that trace is just covered, and we can just scratch them open. So let's just pick a straight one here. What we do is just come in with our tweezers, start scraping away. You see here, we start to reveal the copper trace. So, now that we have a copper trace, or access to it, we just apply some solder here, and then run a pad right here, and then attach it here, coat it in UV coating, and then scratch it open to reveal the pad itself. Make sure it has some solder on it on each one of these. So go all the way down, and we're pretty much just making this and then coating it just like it is there with some green UV coating. You see how the pad just sits there in its little place. Exactly what we have to make, and we just have to make a bunch of them because these traces have been torn to shreds. Man, it's just crazy how easy it is to damage these things. Okay, but that's the gist of it. And yeah, if you guys want to see us do one of these, check out our TikTok. Right now we have part 1 up where we got a mail-in Xbox, and it was similar to this. So yeah, if you want to see how it's done, we'll try to get the other 2 videos up. So you'll look for part 1, 2, and 3 of the Xbox Nightmare. I'll see y'all next time.